Hey everyone, thank you for joining me for another rant review with the real rant reviewer. Yes, I'm right next to you. Don't worry, we're going to go through this really nice and easy. No disturbances. Oh, there is a domestic disturbance with John Travolta and Vince Vaughn. A domestic disturbance, guys, 2001's. Let's talk about it. Spoilers ahead. So you meet Travolta. He has a son. He's very protective of his son. He loves his son. He just divorced his wife, though, here, Terry Polo. And, he builds boats and shit. So Travolta is what happens is Miss Polo here meets a new man. It's Vince Vaughn. He comes from out of town. He's a successful guy. He's really nice and all that, right? So he introduces him to Travolta and the son, and Travolta's wary and skeptical where this guy came from and all that, and so is the kid, of course. Naturally, anyone would be, and they try to get to know Vince Vaughn. It's hard to get to know Vince Vaughn though because he's kind of like busy all the time, and he is a little bit of a jerk, like an uptight jerk and he's really jerky to John Travolta's son, soon to be his stepson, because he's going to marry Terry Polo, the wife. As the movie progresses and goes on, you see Vince Vaughn has some things to come back to bite him, guys. A man, Steve Buscemi, comes into town and says, "Listen, you owe me money. Pay me this fucking money." You find out Vince Vaughn is not who he says he is. This squeaky clean guy. He's actually an ex extortioner or money launderer for the mafia. He was arrested back in New York and all that. All this shit, right? So the dude Buscemi is blackmailing him for some money. Vince Vaughn's got to take care of this problem. He does. But what he doesn't realize is that the son is in the back seat of the truck while all this killing is happening. So Mr. Vince Vaughn kills Buscemi, not knowing that the son here saw it all. The son reports it to the police. Travolta does not believe him at first, and neither does the mother, of course, or the police. So they sent him home. Eventually, Travolta he did meet this guy Travolta occasionally on two occasions, so he knows he's real. This guy, so something's not adding up to Travolta. So he investigates further. The man follows Vince Vaughn and all this shit. Basically, you get to the point where Vince Vaughn cannot keep this secret any longer. Travolta has exposed him. He has found out who he really is. Before he can go tell anyone, though, Vince Vaughn's on top of him. Boom, knocks Mr. Travolta down to the ground out, burns down his little boathouse, thinking he killed Mr. Travolta, but Travolta's not dead. Vince Vaughn heads to the house for his wife and stepson to take care of the problem there with his stepson, and maybe even the wife at this point. He goes to try to attack them or stop them from leaving the home. Travolta is able to intercept and come on, and they're able to kill Mr. Vince Vaughn and save the day. And what do you know, man? Travolta gets back with his wife, I believe, guys, and that's it. Happily ever after. Domestic disturbance. And the point of the story for me is like, domestic things come out of nowhere. Like a squeaky clean suburban house. These people live in a great neighborhood and they have a great life. But look at the violence and the anger and the evilness that is there in Vince Vaughn. So the domestic disturbance is caused by Mr. Vince Vaughn. And it's just very disturbing, to say the least. How he talks to the child and it's just Vince Vaughn. Hats off to you in the movie. I think you did okay. It's not one of your best, but you could have done better. But Travolta, I like him as the father, guys. How could you not? He loves his son. He cares for his son. He'll do anything for his son, and I sense that all the way. Even if he doesn't fully believe his son, he backs him. The mother doesn't. So that's the difference between love, right? Love is unconditional. So great movie, great story. Just an enjoyable watch, guys. Domestic Disturbance. I advise you to watch this. All right, at least once. Let me know what you think about it. All right. I appreciate the Rear Rant Reviewer.